Juventus had the chance Thursday to clinch their 9th straight Scudetto. Instead, a shocking loss, 2-1 against Udinese. Huge 3 points for Udinese and their salvation effort, but Juventus will have to hold off on their Serie A title celebrations at least a little while longer. For more, we're joined by Gab Marcotti and Stewart Robson. Robbo, it's not something we're accustomed to saying. Juventus flat out collapsed in this match. What happened?
Well, it's happened in the last few weeks where they've been ahead in games. They haven't really, at times, deserved to be ahead. They didn't play particularly well in the first half. De Ligt scored the goal. But when Udinese started switching play out to the left-hand side and getting crosses into the box, the midfield players were bypassed far too easily. The centre-halves didn't look as though they were going to deal with crosses coming into the box. And Juventus at the moment aren't a good defensive team. I'm not sure they're great in attack either, but at the moment they're not a good defensive side. And the team selection of Sarri in midfield meant that they were easily bypassed. Ramsey didn't do well enough. Bernardeschi out on the right-hand side didn't do well enough. He changed his shape to a 4-4-1-1, but it didn't really work for him, and he changed to a 4-3-3 later on.
Gab, Bravo mentions it. We saw Ramsey, we saw Rabiot. This was far from first-choice Juve, yeah?
No, this is basically it. I mean, look, Bonucci's suspended. Yeah, okay, fine. Chiellini's been hurt a long time, but Rabiot's been a starter. I think he's the midfield has been all season Rabiot, Pjanic, Matuidi. Now you can put Bentancur obviously in there, but nobody's going to bring up absences as an excuse here. You're playing Udinese, a team that have nothing to play for, a team that are without their starting center forward. You take the lead and you throw it away. I think the reality is this isn't, you said before, this is not something we're not used to seeing from Juve. This isn't Allegri's Juve or Conte's Juve. This is a Juve team that do not enjoy and are not comfortable playing with a lead and absorbing pressure. And when they're put in those situations, they get bullied, they get knocked around. You saw Ken Sema and Fofana basically road grading that Juve midfield. And this is a very, very different situation. And, Sarri afterwards said, well, it looked like, we got a few things wrong. We lost our shape. We made some errors. We lost order. We lost discipline. After the fact, that's all clear. But obviously now, you wasted one of your 3 match points.
Robbo, as you look at it, what's the biggest concern facing this Juventus side?
I think a lack of fluency. I still can't see what Sarri is trying to do with the team. He might be trying to do the thing with the team that he wants them to do, but the players aren't taking it on board. There's not really a focal point up front. Dybala's been excellent, but it's from a much deeper position. Ronaldo at times makes his run from outside to in and does a good job. He obviously scores goals, scores lots of penalties as well. They're not quite sure. Douglas Costa or Bernardeschi on the right-hand side. He changed the shape. And as he changed the shape, that's when Udinese got their equaliser. He'd gone from a 4-4-1-1, changed it to 4-3-3. They were still sorting it out as Sema got wide and got that cross into the box. Alexandro's not defending as well as he possibly could. There's so many things that are wrong with Juventus at the moment, yet they're still going to go and win the title.
Yeah, when Sarri came to Juventus, we heard the word fit a lot. After a season, that's not done yet. How do you think that fit has worked out, and has he earned enough to get a year 2 of trying to make it fit even better?
Well, we said it was obvious from the start that he is not a natural fit at Juventus. He only makes sense at Juve if Juve are prepared to go and build a team that has a sort of players that Sarri wants and needs and are prepared to give him the time to do that. The problem is that's not going to happen because you've invested in a team to win here and now. You're not invested in a rebuilding project, which is why you commit nearly a quarter of your wage bill to Cristiano Ronaldo. So that is the big disconnect that Juve have been dealing with all season. It's not a well put together team for what Sarri needs, and Sarri probably isn't the right man at the right time. All that said, I mean, it would have to be something really pretty dramatic, I think, for him to lose his job. Either really limping to the end in Serie A or not winning the title and then getting humiliated in the Champions League. Circumstances like that might, and I say might, lead the club to say, you know what, Cristiano's unhappy. If he is unhappy, let's roll the dice and let's reload and try to win now with somebody pragmatic rather than going off on the Sarri tangent. And we'll revisit the issue of a Sarri type manager later on. But as I said, we're not at that stage yet.
Robbo, if it does come down to the Champions League, how do you fancy Juventus's chances in the competition?
I think they'll have enough to beat Lyon because we don't know what Lyon have been. They've been playing some friendly games, but nothing competitive. So they should beat Lyon. But then when they come up against Man City, it's probably going to be Man City. It may be Real Madrid, but I'm sure it's going to be Man City. I don't think they're good enough over two legs to cause Man City a problem. I think Man City would win that tie quite comfortably, even though Man City have lost games in the Premier League quite cheaply at times. So I don't think Juventus are going to go any further than the next round.
Gab, my next question, I'm going to cringe even a little bit just asking it. Because at no point would you ever assume that there was a team with Cristiano Ronaldo on it where he wasn't the best attacking player. But when you look at Juventus and certainly what Paulo Dybala has done in the last month more, is he now their best attacking player?
I think he's arguably their most important attacking player because he allows Cristiano to play where Cristiano wants to play. One of the things that we've seen is when Cristiano's had to play through the middle or when they've tried different combinations, it hasn't worked out. One of the great things that Sarri's done this season, and it's a credit to Sarri and it's a credit to Dybala, is he brought back, he took Dybala back to the level that he was at 2 years ago. He turned him into a world-class player again. I'm not going to open the can of worms and argue who's better, him or Cristiano. But I think what's obvious is Dybala makes Cristiano better, and Cristiano can't carry the team on his own. He needs a Dybala with him for the Juve attack to work, because otherwise you saw Higuain's not contributing anything. Douglas Costa's a guy who does the same three tricks over and over again and plays by himself. Bernardeschi comes and goes. This is Juve's attack right now. So it's those two. It's Dybala and it's Cristiano.
Robbo, real quick on Cristiano, he hits that 30-goal league plateau. Yet again, he's 35 years old. The stars seem to be aligning a knockout tournament in Portugal at what feels like the end of his prime. Can you imagine it in Champions League?
I could imagine it if Juventus would get through, but they're not going to get through. I don't think they're going to be good enough. And going back to Gab's point, yes, Dybala and Ronaldo work well together, but what they also need is a proper centre forward, because Ronaldo doesn't want to play there, Dybala doesn't want to play there, so it needs another player to go along with Ronaldo and Dybala. Higuain, we thought might be that player. He hasn't played well enough this season to guarantee himself a spot in the team or really be effective. So another striker is needed with those two in the side as well.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.